yesterday that you guys got off to a good start. You could kind of roll that for the rest of the game. That didn't happen. What enabled you guys to get back into it and pull a point from this one?
Yeah, it's not a good enough start. I think we played hard in the third. I think we took it to them, and we obviously proved to ourselves, how we can play when we're playing together and playing the right way. So I think probably if we started at puck drop, we're walking away with a different result, but good resiliency to try and get back into it.
Tom, you guys have a point in the standings of 18 of 19 games. How do you feel knowing you've done that going into this break you guys have been?
Yeah, I think it speaks to this group. A lot of character, a lot of guys that can pull together, look at each other in the eye, and go out there and battle and try and get it done. So throughout the year, there's ups and downs. It's never going to be, clear sailing all 82. So, we're figuring our way through this season as a group, and we're coming together. It's going to be crunch time once we get back here.
This is the third time in the past 5 games that you guys have gone from a 2-goal deficit in the third to pushing the game to overtime. What's enabling you guys to make these very late?
Yeah, I think the closeness of the group. I think the accountability when we know it's not good enough and we fall behind to look at each other and get back into it and depend on the guy next to you. So we got a close group. Said since day one. Obviously, you don't want to fall behind. We got to start better. We got to play with leads. When you do fall behind, there's no doubting this group. We have a belief, and we go out there and get it done. And Johnny's waiting for you guys. So.
You kind of said yesterday that you guys got off to a good start. You could kind of roll that for the rest of the game. That didn't happen. What enabled you guys to get back into it and pull a point from this one?
Yeah, it's not a good enough start. I think we played hard in the third. I think we took it to them, and we obviously proved to ourselves, how we can play when we're playing together and playing the right way. So I think probably if we started at puck drop, we're walking away with a different result, but good resiliency to try and get back into it.
Tom, you guys have a point in the standings of 18 of 19 games. How do you feel knowing you've done that going into this break you guys have been?
Yeah, I think it speaks to this group. A lot of character, a lot of guys that can pull together, look at each other in the eye, and go out there and battle and try and get it done. So throughout the year, there's ups and downs. It's never going to be, clear sailing all 82. So we're figuring our way through this season as a group, and we're coming together. It's going to be crunch time once we get back here.
This is the third time in the past 5 games that you guys have gone from a 2-goal deficit in the third to pushing the game to overtime. What's enabling you guys to make these very late?
Yeah, I think the closeness of the group. I think the accountability when we know it's not good enough and we fall behind to look at each other and get back into it and depend on the guy next to you. So we got a close group. Said since day one. Obviously, you don't want to fall behind. We got to start better. We got to play with leads. When you do fall behind, there's no doubting this group. We have a belief, and we go out there and get it done. And Johnny's waiting for you guys. So.
What enables you guys to get yourselves pulls and come back and at least pull points out of game?
Yeah, I think just even when we got down 2-0, I feel like we just knew we were going to score at some point. Got a couple power plays and got back in. Just not a great second, and then battled hard in the third to get back and grab a point. But I haven't been able to find a way in the shootout this year, for whatever reason. But we're battling all night, so credit to us for getting a point.
Your goal's a really big one at that point in the game. What did you see on how that developed?
Yeah, Mikey made a good play to the neutral zone and brought it in and made a good play to cut back, and then O found some ice and saw me kind of in the middle and just chipped it on net and got the rebound. So it was, lines were kind of jumbled a little bit in the third, but nice to claw our way back and felt like we knew we were going to tie it at some point. We had a lot of chances and a lot of guys were buzzing. So nice to get a point, I guess.
You guys have recorded a point in 18 of 19 games. I mean, what does that say about the squad that constantly are able to do this year?
Yeah, just no quit. LT didn't obviously, a couple ones squeak by him in the first, but I mean, the guy hasn't had a bad game all year. So I mean, we try to bail him out as much as we can. He's been, arguably our MVP through this far this season. Feels like whenever he's in the net, we got a good chance to win. So, I feel like, even with Chucky too, like we just have confidence in the goalies, and even when they give up 1 or 2, like he makes some huge saves in the third, and especially in the second, then they were kind of pushing. So, just always have confidence in all the guys in the team and finding ways to claw out a point. So that's a pretty good statistic. So hopefully we can keep it going after the break.
You guys have this break coming. Do you feel like this is coming at the right time? Are you guys glad this is happening?
Oh, I mean, with 18 of 19, I don't know if you want that breakdown, but I mean, it's a lot of hockey that we played 55 games, I think. So we're I think everyone's looking forward to a little bit of a break. Obviously, wish some guys on our team were going to the Four Nations, but we'll use it as rest and good time to relax and just enjoy some sun and get away from the game for a little bit and be ready for hopefully lots more hockey to go.
That puck hit you in the kneecap or what?
Yeah, just in the kneecap, just a little stinger. I'm not used to blocking those shots, so just trying to help out. And, he didn't ever like to stay on the ice, but it was just a dead leg. But it quickly went away, and yeah, lots of time to ice. Thanks, guys.
What would that mean to you I mean, the 700 points is one thing, but to share that with your family?
Yeah, I think that's, and my teammates, I think a lot of guys I've played a lot of games with along the way, and certainly my family, certainly my family on the ice, and then obviously my parents and brother and all that stuff too. So it's been a great journey. Don't take for granted how lucky I am, and certainly was a nice ceremony.
How much longer can that journey go?
It's not done yet. We'll see.
What does it feel like to look back on your career after so many points, after so many years?
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those things where in the moment it's meaningful, it's cool, it's all that stuff. But once when the time does come, when it's over and you can reflect, I think that's when it will probably mean a little bit more personally. But certainly great accomplishment individually, and I'm I feel really lucky and blessed to be in this position.
Was it nice to get tributes from Messier, Josi?
Yeah, no, it was, that's they do a great job here. Sergey leads a great department there, and they really put on a great ceremony like they always do. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Spencer, you talked before the game about the importance of having a good first period. Obviously didn't quite go to plan there.
You didn't think so, eh? No, it was not according to plan. I didn't think, and it wasn't like the first goal isn't great. But yeah, we just didn't start on time, and then we're down 2-0 early. We get that power play goal to get us back into it, and then we give up another one. So the first two were not very good. So it is what it is. Once again, our guys deserve credit. We fought back in the third. Third was a really solid period, and to be expected. Like, we're going to keep fighting, and they're in a back-to-back, so we control play and we find a way to get that game tied up. That's what we'll take out of it. But afternoon game weren't nearly good enough, and that's a good team. That team for 2 years gives us a ton of issues. And when you watch the game, when I'm standing there, like, I never feel comfortable against that team. They're fast, they're skilled, they make plays through your triangle, through your feet, they delay off entries, they find second guys, and they make it really difficult to check them. So we'll take the point, move into the break, and move on.
O's goal scoring streak ends, but it seemed like he had a lot to do with the comeback today. Just getting pucks to the net winds up creating a couple of goals.
Yeah, we changed some line combinations and sort of went with Frankie for a bit, and then gave them a shift with Mikey. Thought Mikey might be able to give him some, and they made a good play. I mean, Mikey delays off the entry. It's a heck of a play. O makes two big plays to set up both goals on scenarios where I think it's an underrated thing that a lot of people don't talk about of O, because everybody is so focused on his shot. When he gets the puck, you're always thinking shot, but he's got that look off pass, the shot pass that I call it, and you see it on display. Both those goals, those are big plays that he made for us.
This team a couple times now has been able to come back when you're down a couple goals. What is it that maybe gives this team that confidence that they can do that?
Just belief and resiliency inside the group. Like, these guys they just refuse to, even when there's times through an 82-game schedule, and even in a 70-game schedule, whatever league you're in, your team doesn't have it. That's going to happen, right? However many times you want to limit that, but it's going to happen. Okay, so in those games, do you keep fighting, and do you try to change momentum? Do you not give in to, oh, we don't have it tonight? And that's what our team has continued to do. Even when we don't have it, we've found ways to get a point, or even sometimes win those hockey games, i.e. Philadelphia, i.e. tonight. Our prime examples are where we don't have it, and we get outplayed for significant portions of the game, but we just keep fighting and keep grinding and keep believing that we're going to get an equalizer or one goal and then two, and the guys support one another, and that's, I've said it a bunch, it's the best quality of our team is there's a ton of belief in our room, and there's a ton of togetherness and resiliency, and they're never going to lay down and just fold the tent because we're trailing or because we quote unquote don't have our legs or don't have it that night.
It's kind of a similar vein. I think this is the third time in 5 games that you guys have pushed overtime down by 2. Is that more encouraging because of all the stuff that you were talking about, or is that more concerning that these are getting down to the wire?
A little bit of both, I'll be honest. I'm not in love with some of the ways that it's happening and why we're getting down in the games and having to fight our way back. And I think I've said this before earlier in the year, where this continues to happen, it's we got to do something about it, because if you play with fire and you put yourself down in this league 2 goals consistently, it's not going to end well. Yeah, I don't care how resilient your team is. So it's good. That part's good. The coming back, the staying with it, but we've got to do a way better job of limiting the amount of times we put ourselves in this situation. It's happening way too frequently, like you pointed out.
Thanks, Carson.
Thanks.